Hello students, welcome to the lecture series on international business. Today's first topic is Globalization and International Business Part 3. In this we are going to cover the essential conditions for globalization, factors influencing growth of globalization, factors facilitating growth of globalization of Indian businesses. The first topic is essential conditions for globalization. Now, these are the essential conditions which we have discussed in our previous lectures as well as driving forces, economic liberalization, adequate resources, sound infrastructure, competitive advantages, government support, proper orientation. So, the first point is economic liberalization. So, we very well know that globalization and economic liberalization are intertwined, with liberalization facilitating globalization by promoting free trade, attracting foreign investment and aligning domestic policies with international norms. So, in India also we have witnessed that after 1991, when LPG came into picture with liberalized policies, globalization took its flight. The measures include the removal or reduction of restrictions in the industrial sector, financial sector, trade and investment policy, removing import licenses and quotas, opening up industries to foreign investment, privatization and reducing subsidies. So, it is not only liberalization, but privatization and providing subsidies, all these facilitate globalization. Adequate resources is the second point. So, every country should have adequate resources so that they can compete globally. So, adequate resources are essential for successful globalization as they enable countries to participate effectively in global markets, trade, investment, fostering economic growth and development. Now, these resources may be many. First is the financial resources, which means that the country should have enough funds or foreign direct investment. Human resources, skilled, semi-skilled, unskilled, technical people should be there in the country to facilitate globalization. Technological resources, the new developed technologies, investment in research and development, R&D, all these should happen, technical know-how should be there so that they can take up globalization in a faster way. Natural resources, the country should have something to offer. Natural resources in the form of coal, petroleum, minerals, metals. If a country has all these natural resources, it will facilitate globalization because they will have something to offer to the world. The third point is sound infrastructure. So, to facilitate globalization, sound infrastructure is necessary, and this is in the form of transportation, communication and energy networks. It is an essential foundation for successful globalization, facilitating trade, investment and economic growth by enabling efficient movement of goods, people and information. Sound infrastructure helps in facilitating trade and investment, connecting the markets, enabling technological advancements and promoting economic growth. The fourth point is competitive advantage. Along with competitive advantage, there should be comparative advantage as well. So, competitive advantages like leadership, product differentiation and specialization enable businesses to thrive in a globalized market by allowing them to produce goods or services better or more cheaply than competitors, ultimately facilitating globalization. Also, if you have an edge in producing a particular product, as we have taken up the example of Brazil producing coffee and India concentrating on production of cotton. So, in these products, the particular country has a comparative advantage. So, that will also facilitate globalization. Then the fifth point is government support. Beside liberalization, government support is needed at every step. Also, the government should have outward looking trade policy. Outward looking means that they promote international trade, allow import and export of goods. Government support is crucial for the success of globalization as it provides the framework for fair trade, protects domestic industries, and ensures that the benefit of globalization is shared by all. Also, administrative support is needed. This administrative support speeds up the process of globalization. Government support includes policy and procedural reforms, R&D support, that is research and development, capital market reforms, industrial estates, spatial economic zones, SEZs, export processing units, EPUs. So, if the country is opening up this type of industrial estates, spatial economic zones and EPUs, then it will facilitate globalization, production of a huge amount of goods to be exported. Then subsidies, to again it will be helpful in globalization because it will make the products or the producers producing in the country cheaper and competing in the foreign markets. Then the last one is proper orientation. A proper orientation includes factors like open borders, free trade and technological advancements. This facilitates globalization by enabling the interconnectedness and integration of economies, cultures and people. So, all these are the facilitators or drivers for globalization. So, if the country is oriented like that, then it will be easier for the country to be globalized, the operations be globalized. The factors influencing growth of globalization are many. So, we will discuss them one by one. So, the factors may be liberalization of economies like removal of restrictions on international business by governments of different countries. So, as we have seen that after the disintegration of USSR and the reforms that economic reforms that took place in many countries including in India and China, we have seen a liberalized world, and because of that more of global trade could be possible. Fast growth and expansion of technology, communication and transportation. So, when there is infrastructure development in each of the country will be having a smooth functioning, and then there will be faster growth and expansion. Then convergence of cultures. As soon as there is a convergence of cultures where multiple economies or multiple cultures amalgam into one, and they have a global taste and preferences, then we can say that the world is moving towards a globalized world. Increasing role of international organizations like WTO and UN. Now, the stronger the role of WTO and UN will be, then it will facilitate globalization in a worldwide manner. Now, you see that WTO maintains relationship between the different countries who are trading. Also, it puts a kind of controls the tariffs and tariff wars. But now, as we are witnessing that US has started a tariff war and other countries are following the same, and WTO till now it is not taking any concrete step towards it. So, if the WTO becomes more powerful, then the chances of free trade will be a possibility. Regional economic integration, which we have discussed previously also, like the European Union, then NAFTA, which is now become changed to USMCA, which is a economic integration of three countries, that is USA and Mexico and Canada. Then the ASEAN. So, all these regional economic integration ensures that at least the trading between the member nations is swift, and that also facilitates globalization. Finally, also the one of the point is economic viability. So, more if the transactions are becoming viable, the countries are becoming viable to conducive to globalization, then naturally it will flourish. Then the next is improve political relationship among major economic powers. So we were witnessing that the major economic powers like the G7 countries and then now the G20 countries, the relationship between the member nations is improving, and that is also facilitating globalization. Banks and corporate houses providing facilitating services. So this is a essential part of infrastructure building. So when banks and corporate houses are facilitating each other, then naturally it will help in globalization. Robust transportation system makes the easier movement of goods, services and people, and that also facilitates globalization. Increased global competition is also a factor which is facilitating globalization. Since competition is increasing, all the companies are trying to produce better and more amount of goods are being transacted, and this is also leading to globalization. Then countries also cooperate in transactional issues related to economics, political and other areas. So it is not confined to only economical issues. They are cooperating in other political issues. They are ensuring the growth of other countries also. And if all the countries growth becomes a reality, then it will also boost globalization. Consumers' knowledge is updated as they need greater choices. So this is also it is also the cause of globalization as well as the outcome of globalization. So more and more consumers are becoming knowledgeable. They know about the brands which are available in the market or on internet, and they are buying it, and that is also facilitating globalization. Changes in government policies pave way for cross national cooperation. So the government policies are becoming more attuned to globalization. Opening up of the economies are happening, cross cultural cross national cooperation is happening, and that is also facilitating globalization in a worldwide manner. Then there are factors facilitating growth of globalization of Indian businesses. So now we will focus on how Indian businesses are affected by globalization and what factors are facilitating the growth of globalization of Indian businesses. So the growth factors in India are, so prominently the first one is low cost of labor. We will discuss each one of these points one by one later on. So then another point is technological advancement, wide resources and industrial base, growing demand, economic liberalization, capital mobility, infrastructure development and government policies. So we will discuss each one of them one by one. The first one is low cost of labor, and beside that we have skilled workforce. So both the factors are the pluses for India in terms of globalization. So low labor costs in India, skilled workforce and government policies have facilitated the growth of globalization of Indian businesses, attracting multinational corporations and enabling Indian companies to expand globally. Now more and more number of multinational companies are setting up their production unit and or say BPOs or customer care services, everything in India. Why? Because they get not only the advantage of low cost of labor, but also the added advantage of skilled workforce. Moreover, the Indians are conversant in 2-3 languages, which also facilitates businesses, and that's why the businesses are moving from the west to countries like India and China. So India is having that added advantage in that. Then the India is relatively lower labor cost. So this is one basic point, that labor cost is low here, cheap labor is available compared to developed nations, and this have been a major draw for multinational corporations, leading to outsourcing and offshoring of operations, particularly sectors like IT, that is information technology, engineering and customer service. India boasts a large and increasingly skilled workforce. So as I said, that it is not only low cost of labor, but added advantage is skilled workforce. So we have skilled workforce, particularly in technology and related fields, making it an attractive destination for global businesses seeking talent and expertise. The second facilitating factor in India is technological advancements. Innovation in production and communication technology is happening, such as latest technology in production processes and the growth of internet have made it easier for Indian businesses to connect with global markets and customers and offer products at par with global standards. The digital revolution has facilitated the growth of e-commerce and online businesses, allowing Indian companies to reach a wider audience and expand their operations globally. So, we find that in India we are investing a lot on research and development. We are coming out with newer technologies. We are fast in taking up technologies which are available in the world. So, we are adapting to the new world or technological world on the one hand, and on the other hand we have a digital revolution. Nowadays every businesses are working in all the modes, that is brick and click mode, or totally brick mode or totally click mode, because in India we have this kind of a digital revolution. Then wide resources and industrial base. India's vast resources and industrial base and its integration into the global economy have led to the growth of Indian businesses, increased foreign investments, expanded market access and technological advancements. India possesses a wide array of natural resources, including minerals, agricultural products, and energy sources, which support various industries. So, we find that in India we have different type of natural resources and agro resources also. So, we are producing different type of agricultural products which is catering not only to India's needs or demand, but the world demand. In many of the products we have a kind of a comparative advantage, like production of cotton, rice, jute, also other natural resources like minerals, gems and jewelry. Why it is India is leading in that area? Because we also have this natural resource in abundance in our country. Then other minerals and the coal is there. So, all this is also giving a boost to globalization. The country has developed a substantial industrial base encompassing manufacturing, technology and service sectors. In fact, we have moved from primary sector, that is agriculture and mining, to the manufacturing sector, and that is the secondary sector, and now we are moving towards the tertiary sector, that is service sector. And in service sector also we have this, because of the growth of IT and research in that and IT products, we are providing technical solutions to other countries. So, that is another area which is developing very fast. Then the fourth point is growing demand. Now, Indian products are slowly catching up, and the demand for Indian products is growing, ever growing in many countries. So, the growing global demand for Indian products and services in sectors like information technology, textiles and pharmaceuticals is driving the growth of Indian businesses and exports by expanding market access and fostering economic growth. So, we are in fact we are dominating in certain products like IT, and then we gems, jewelry and all. So, the key sectors experiencing demand are IT, textiles, pharmaceuticals and agricultural products. Merchandise and service exports, it is also increasing. India has increased its global market share in sectors like IT, precious and semi-precious stones, electric motors and in fact parts of electric motors and generators. So, in all these areas we have witnessed a growth in terms of global business, and it is advantageous for Indian companies to work in these sectors, because there is a demand for Indian products, such products in foreign countries. Then the fifth point is economic liberalization. Now, this can be considered as the most prominent or important point, because after liberalization only the global trade could be possible, could have made possible, and in fact the global companies have come up or they are doing business in India, and Indian companies are becoming big conglomerates and multinational and working in other countries. So, say for example, the Tatas or Birlas, they were always there, but other companies like Wipro and Infosys, they are also reaping in the benefit of economic liberalization, and they are having technical base in other countries also, or selling their products in other countries also. So, the reduction of trade barriers like tariffs and quotas has facilitated the free movement of goods and services, allowing Indian businesses to export and import more easily. Lowering tariffs on imports made foreign goods more accessible and encouraged competition. Reducing government control over industries and businesses allowed for greater flexibility and innovation. Privatization or transferring state-owned enterprises to private ownership increased efficiency and investment. So, since last 15-20 years, we are almost we have privatized many of the state-owned enterprises. The airline sector has been privatized, and then many companies have been privatized. Then bilateral trade agreements with various countries have increased market access, and also multilateral trades agreements are happening with member countries of SAARC, which we have discussed earlier also, that is the South Asian Association of Regional Cooperation, further facilitated international business. Then another point is capital mobility. Liberalization of the capital market has increased financial integration, allowing Indian companies to access global financial markets for funding and investment. Foreign investment or increased cross or border investment have led to economic growth and job creation in India, benefiting businesses. Infrastructure development. Investment in infrastructure, including ports, airports, and transportation networks, have enhanced India's connectivity with the rest of the world, facilitating trade and investment. This leads to the following benefits: improved connectivity between the different partners, between the markets, the producers and the customers, lower operational costs, increased productivity, attracting foreign investment and access to global markets. Next point is government policies. Now, liberalization of course is one of the policy, but there are other policies also. So, government policies including liberalization and reforms have played a crucial role in opening up the Indian economy and facilitating trade and investment, further accelerating globalization. The establishment of export processing zones has provided a conducive environment for export oriented industries, attracting foreign investment and promoting exports. Market liberalization policies have led to the expansion of Indian manufacturing exports to global markets, particularly in textile, machinery and consumer goods. So, let us summarize this portion of the unit, and that is the essential conditions for globalization are economic liberalization, adequate resources, sound infrastructure, competitive advantage, government support and proper orientation that we have discussed. Now, this conditions, if it is present in any country, and in fact all the countries, then actually globalization in the world economy it will be possible, or it will get a boost. So, as we have discussed that after the 90s, we have seen that there was disintegration of USSR, and there was they became more capitalist. The China opened its door, as well as India went for LPG, that is liberalization, privatization and globalization, and this also led to globalized world. Major economies shifted from a closed economy to an open economy. Also, the countries, if they have adequate resources, then it will give boost to that globalization. Infrastructure, if it is developed, then it will again facilitate globalization. If the company has something to offer, or they are swift in their working, that will give them competitive advantage and facilitate globalization of that country. Government support in other forms like opening up of SEZs or EPZs, that will also facilitate globalization. And also there should be a shift in the mindset, like from inward looking trade policies to we need more of outward looking trade policies of every country. Then we have discussed the factors which facilitate growth of globalization, and which include growth of technology, communication, transportation, liberalization, international organizations becoming stronger, regional economic integrations becoming stronger, and improved political relationship and infrastructure development. And finally, we have discussed the facilitating factors for globalization, especially in India, and one of the prominent one is the low cost of labor. And not only the labor is cheaply available, but also they are skilled. Also technological development has taken place, wide resource base is there, growing demand, economic liberalization has happened. The government has opened up the economy since 1991, infrastructure development took place, and government policies, other government policies also facilitated globalization of Indian businesses. So with this we have come to an end of the first part of today's lecture. Thank you, students.